Hello there. My name is Austin Snowden. I'm Professor of Mental Health at Edinburgh Napier University, and I'm also the lead researcher here at the European Research Institute for Chaplaincy in Healthcare. I'm also a visiting professor at KU Leuven University. And I'd just like to give you this really quick whistle-stop tour of what the PROM is. So I'm going to do that by first telling you what it is, then saying why we need it, and finally give you some instructions on how to go about getting it. So what is a PROM? A PROM is a patient-reported outcome measure, and it's a self-reported questionnaire that assesses quality of life or perceived health status. Now, there are an awful lot of these PROMs around, but there is only one Scottish PROM, and the Scottish PROM is a self-reported questionnaire that quantifies the outcome of chaplain interventions. So it was deliberately validated to pick up the outcomes of what chaplains do in Scotland, and that's where it was devised, but it's since been used around the world. And this is it. This is the PROM. It's in, well, this is actually the PROM here, but it's generally in a questionnaire which has these different sections in it. And this first section is the demographic section, just name and address, gender, age, and whether someone's religious, spiritual, both or neither. And that's important because we want to find out whether chaplains particularly work well for people with religious or spiritual beliefs, or whether whether chaplains work just as well for anybody. And this next set of questions is about the things that the chaplain does. So during the meeting with the chaplain, I was listened to. I was able to talk about what was on my mind. My situation was understood. My faith beliefs were valued. And you would check one of these boxes according to how you felt the chaplain was during the encounter. So none of the time, rarely, some of the time, often, or all of the time. And that section is about the things the chaplain does. As I say, this last part is things the chaplain impact upon, and this is the PROM. So it's these 5 items that actually make up the PROM. And they're scored exactly the same as the last section, but the items are about the outcomes of chaplaincy. So being honest with myself about how I was really feeling. Anxious, that's a negatively worded item, so that's scored opposite way round. I had a positive outlook on my situation. I was in control of my life, and I felt a sense of peace. And people score these according to how they felt over the last 2 weeks. So that's the PROM. And finally, you can put some free text here. The patient puts some free text here, often to describe the encounter. And that's been really useful for chaplains to maybe reflect on their own personal practice. Okay, but why would I need it? You might be thinking to yourself. Well, have you ever asked yourself why we need chaplains in the first place? Or why not replace a chaplain with a nurse when there's a workforce vacancy? And are chaplains even important? What do chaplains do? And for example, do they do the same all over the world? Well, we've used the PROM to actually answer all of those questions and more. So you can see it's actually really quite useful to answer some fundamental questions about healthcare chaplaincy, which is really important when their position is often under threat. And so that's why you need the PROM. So where do you get it from? You can get it from us. Obviously, you've found your way to the website here. So you can either email myself, Austin Snowden, a.snowden@napier.ac.uk. There's a younger version of me. And Anne at kuleuven.be. And there she is. There we are together at the inception of Eric. So please do email either of us, and we'd be really delighted to hear from you and support you in your study using the PROM. Okay, thanks very much for listening, and hopefully hear from you soon. Bye-bye.